The last 2 years haven't been ideal for Donnie Nietes. Much of it was because of the pandemic. To compound the misery, Ala Promotions closed its doors last year. Ryan, do you think he wouldn't be in this uncertainty if not for his decision to vacate the WBO Super Flyweight title that he won from Kazuto Ioka on New Year's Eve of 2018?
I thought that that was such a terrible decision. I know that it was Nietes who put out the post and on Facebook announcing it. I don't know what level of involvement Allah had in that discussion, but it was a terrible, terrible decision because Nietes was a guy that why would you fight him if he didn't have a belt? Yeah, he
Yeah.
was not a big star, but he was also a very kind of tricky fighter to fight sometimes. He was an unheralded legend, and I just didn't understand the decision making because all right, he goes out there, Nietes and Polite. Don't get me wrong, Aston Polite gave him some difficulties, and the reason
Yeah.
why he didn't want to do a rematch with Aston Polite, and I know Nietes wasn't comfortable beforehand with fighting another Filipino, which I don't understand that mentality. It's once the bell rings, it's just another guy trying to take your head off. Doesn't matter where he's from.
Yeah.
Aston Polite goes out there and they had a good fight, but I thought Nietes edged it, right? So how bad does it look then that all right, the vacant title, it winds up Kazuto Ioka fights against Aston Polite. He beats him. Ioka's a good fighter. And then Polite goes out there and has his comeback fight and loses to Renz Rocha. So Nietes vacates the belt because he doesn't want to fight a guy who then goes on and loses, a pretty clear decision to Renz Rocha. It just looks like a bad decision all around.
Ala Promotions played a big part in his career. Let's put everything into consideration here, Ryan. He's 39 years old. He hasn't fought a top caliber opponent since the Ioka fight. He doesn't hold any world title. To me, the goal here is to make him marketable and prolong his shelf life. Do you think he's in good hands with MTK Global?
I don't know because we're waiting on him to fight, and he had a fight in Dubai against Pablo Carrillo. I'm not familiar with him. Not saying he's not a good fighter, a worthy fighter, but these are not the fights that he should be having. Nietes should have been fighting all along. Estrada, Ioka was a good fighter for sure. Chocolatito, Carlos Cuadras. He should have been in the ring with all these guys. And it just makes no sense why that wasn't the case. Even if you lose, at least you were there, and that means something. It's way better to have fought the guys and then okay, you get a loss, whatever. But if it's a good fight and you show your best abilities, then to go out there and you're fighting against who was he fighting? Juan Alejo, Gilberto Para, Carlos Velarde.
Yeah.
Sammy Gutierrez, that's what he was doing during his championship reign. And Allah liked to go out there and say, he was the longest reigning champion. So what? He's only fighting, at the Waterfront Hotel. Like, the Chocolatito wasn't coming to Cebu. I'm sorry.
Now, if we would recall, he vacated the belt because he wanted to pursue bigger fights at 115. That was his reason. Do you think it's still doable at this point of his career?
I don't know. How's that going? That decision to vacate the belt. Is he fighting Chocolatito or Estrada next? Is he fighting? Is he fighting at all? So I think it's possible because at 39, maybe someone will take a chance with him and say, oh, he's older and he's not the same fighter anymore. But it seems like Chocolatito and Estrada are going to go make some more money, together. And Srisak Kit, he'll get another shot because he's still a guy at 115 and he has that relationship with Matchroom and DAZN. I don't know what's going on with Nietes. At this point, I'd be okay just to see him fight Jake Paul, anyone. Just get in the ring and just do something. Yeah. Just let people know that you still exist because it's out of sight, out of mind. And I mean, he's been training. I see the videos on Facebook. He's been training with Ala Villamor. And I mean, he must be in amazing shape right now because he's having like a 6-month training camp.
Do you think Donnie has something left in his gas tank to give the likes of Jeremy Lancajas, Juan Francisco Estrada, and Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez a run for their money?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he has something. Yeah, because it's not like he's been all these recent years, like, getting wasted out in the ring, getting beaten up and stuff because he hasn't been fighting. So yeah, he better have something left because the last time we saw him in a real fight against a real top guy, Ioka, he had Ioka, who was, I think, a pound for pound level talent on his bicycle, and it got to the point where Ioka, who was an amazing combination puncher, said, listen, I can't stand toe to toe with this guy. I have to box with him. So to me, that told me that Nietes was still a very serious fighter. Nietes doesn't get out of shape. He takes care of himself. I know he likes to go riding his bike up in the mountains. I think he has something left, sure.